Hello everyone. Welcome for tonight's presentation. I'm Sushmita and I welcome you all. Guys, come on video. I can see a lot of you are joining and we will start in a few bit. But before we start, I would love to know where are you from? And hi David, hi Stephanie. I can see both of you. So guys, come on our video. Tell me, type in the chat section, where are you from? I have people today. I heard that I have you all from different parts of the world, and I would love to know where are you from. I don't know why I can't see your chats. Just a minute. Tell me, where are you from? What is your book about? And what are you most excited about today? Hey, hi, Robert. Canada, wonderful. Wonderful. Wow. Charlene, kudos to you. I mean, thank you for joining from London. It's like super late in London. Oh my God. welcome. And thank you for being here. So guys, you will see me viewing on a different screen is because I have like multiple screens here and there, and your chat is here, my camera is here, and that's how the world goes. Australia, wonderful. Yay. Anyone from US or from Toronto and around? Northern Virginia, wonderful. Welcome. California. California, I envy your weather. You guys have lovely weather, I should say. Wonderful. So tell me, guys, what is your book about before we really jump into the world of learning. As I can see, a lot of you are still joining in. And I would love to know what is your book about. And anything specific that you might want me to cover tonight, I would love to hear it from you all. We'll wait for a minute and then I think we can start. Wonderful. Children's positive book. I write poetry. Wow, wonderful. Yes, poetry books are mesmerizing. I mean, like if you know how to recite poems, like the part from where I'm from India, and my home country actually. So there we are taught to recite poem in a singing manner in a beautiful way. So yeah, poetries can be beautiful. I wrote a memoir about 3 years teaching in wonderful Zimbabwe. It is saying we are not allowed to unmute the chats. Oh, that's weird. I'm from New Orleans, LA. Yeah, LA. Yeah, again, LA, you guys have amazing weather. I mean, we have good weather. We were expecting, like, I'm at present in Toronto, and we were expecting spring. Spring. It's like raining, cold, everything, but I still love Toronto. What to do? Children's book. Manchester, wow. Guys, you are awesome. Like, joining at such late night. And I'm going to make sure that your next 2 hours are spent very well. So I want to formally welcome you all and thank you so much for watching this and joining me today. And we are going to talk in detail about everything under the umbrella of publishing. So let me share my screen with all of you so you guys can see and hear and learn. So is my screen visible to everyone? Please write in the chat section that yes, so that I know it is visible, and I can start. Perfect. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That's amazing. So, sound, I hope you all, as you all are able to hear me anyway. So, I'm quite certain that your sound is working and you are able to see me as you say it, yes, and my screen. So, I think we are good to go. But in case if you aren't able to hear me, so go ahead, turn up your speakers sometime. It is the control at your end that you might want to get access to. So if majority of us are able to hear each other, hear me, you are able to hear me, and majority of us are able to see and everything. So if some of you aren't, so please check your computer locally, and you should be good to go. So, and thank you again for joining me today. I'm Sushmita, and I am your host for tonight. I'm going to walk you through the entire process that involves writing and publishing your book. Right, my friends. So I want to welcome you all formally, but at the same time, I would love to. Uh, I really respect your time and your commitment to be here, and I want you guys to get as much benefit from today's session as much possible. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to explain a lot. So I'm going to share a lot of things in a very short period of time. And it is going, and I don't want anyone of you to miss any secrets or any process that might help you in your publishing journey. So, having said that, have any kind of distractions that you might have, like your mobile phone, your emails, or anything that can distract you. Please go ahead and give your full attention for the next 2 hours, and I can promise you it's going to be worth it. So as I mentioned that I'm going to share a lot of grounds today, and I'm going to cover a great deal of topic in a very short period of time. That's why you would definitely want to take some notes so that you can refer back again. And so quickly grab your notepad, your pen, or wherever you are comfortable. I mean, I'm quite old school, so I love taking notes on paper. So that is how it all, like every time I say take notes, it's like, okay, notepad and a pen. But if you're not as old school as I am, feel free. I mean, if you want to take notes on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, wherever, so feel free, but have something to take notes because that's important. And today, because you are here at the end of today's session, I have a very special gift for all of you, which in itself is worth $1,000. And that particular gift you will be getting at the end of today's session, and I'll be sharing with all of you so that you can get started with your journey on publishing right away. So my friends, this particular session is for you if you have been wondering and to become an author but never been able to publish a book. Today's session is for you if you have a great story which you think you want to share with the world and you want to create difference in people's life and touch people's lives. This session is for you if you have been thinking about getting your book professionally published, but you get overwhelmed every time thinking about where to begin, and you think the book idea that you might have is not good enough. Don't worry, I got you covered. Probably you rarely get any, probably you have been trying to reach out to different agents and trying to get your book in front of the agents, but you have and want to go ahead with a traditional publishing path, but it all seems that nothing is working. Don't worry, I got you covered. And last but not the least, probably you are tired of trying out several ways and nothing seems to work. Or because of which you are scared and intimidated, that is it worth it? Is it worth to really do this? Or is it even possible to successfully publish a book? Don't worry, I got you covered today. In today's session, I'm going to answer all of your queries that we just spoke about. So I keep getting these questions from aspiring author a lot, and probably some of you might have the same questions as well when it comes to challenges like how do you even get started? I mean, where to start my publishing journey? Should I start with writing? Should I start with marketing? Should I start with designing? And where should I start and how should I start? Challenges like what do you do if you are struggling to find the right team? Yes, that can be a big struggle, because your A team is everything and it's totally dependent on the success and the failure of your book. Challenges like how to ensure that your brand image is portrayed properly and professionally throughout your book and through your book. Where do what happens if you are stuck? What do you do if you are stuck in that WRR vortex? So I call it writing, rewriting, and reviewing vortex. And I'm sure a lot of you over here, tell me, guys, are you, who among you are actually in that WRR vortex now? I want to know. So it's like you have been writing, then reviewing, then rewriting, and the journey never ends. Anyone? Write in the chat section WRR. So I know that you have also probably faced the same thing that I hear people saying a lot. Yeah, it's a real deal. And it's not that you are wrong or right, but there is a process. That is why it's like, that you are not wrong. It's totally possible, because sometimes to perfect it, it requires someone to be pulled out of that vortex. So challenges like, what do you do if you are struggling to get response from agents? Or what do you do if you have tried probably everything and it has completely bombed? Don't worry. If any of these I just mentioned here rings right to you, then you are at the right place, my friend, and you are not alone. So let me quickly cover what we are going to cover in tonight's session. Let me quickly walk you through the entire things that we are going to talk tonight. So today we are going to talk about the exact process to publish your book from scratch. Yes, even if you don't have a single word written, you will know how to write it. And even if you just have an idea, I'm going to cover that tonight. We are going to talk about the publishing paths and which one is right for you. We are going to talk in detail about different examples, about the case studies and success stories, so that you can take inspiration from the real life heroes and heroines, both. I should not be biased to one gender only, right? So we are also going to talk about in detail about the five biggest book publishing mistakes, which is big and a very costly mistake for authors, and which is avoidable, and how you will learn today how you can actually avoid it, my friends. In today's session, I'm going to cover about what all you must avoid when it comes to publishing landmines. Again, there are many things that an author, aspiring authors, don't even know, that those are the landmines for in the publishing world. So you will be informed after today's session. We are going to talk about our lockdown. You're going to meet our lockdown champions who actually published their book during the lockdown last year, and they are crushing it. So along with all those things, as I mentioned earlier, by end of today's session, I will give you a gift for spending time with me here. Yeah, that's it. So before I begin, so let me tell you where it all started and who I am actually, and why you should listen to me. So, as you all know, my name is Sushmita, and I am the founder and CEO of Global Book Publishing. So, I started my journey with Macmillan as an editor. And from Macmillan, I worked with Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, Wolters Kluwer, Cengage, Penguin, and many more. All those giants, publishing giants. I have worked with them in the capacity of project manager and a program for the end-to-end production of the books and end-to-end production of the books, and as a program manager in the capacity of project manager and program manager. So when I say end-to-end production of the books, what I mean is that the raw manuscript would come to me, and I and my team of experts will work on the raw manuscript. It converts it into book, and the first printed copy of the book would come to me. Me and my team, quality team, will check. And once I approve that first printed copy of the book, then only it would go for bulk printing. That is what I meant when I said end-to-end production of the books. Now, along with my publishing career, I'm also one of the top instructors with Udemy. So I'm sure all of you know Udemy, because Udemy is the world's #1 online learning portal. So in fact, if you go to udemy.com and you type my name, Sushmita Datta, you will see I have more than 129,000 students from around the world learning from me. Along with my Udemy career, I also am the only instructor who teaches design thinking and product designing to create a customer-centric product so that it sells on its own at Forbes. Along with all those things, I take pride, my friends, to share that I was very privileged to work beside Dr. Mary Coleman on her book, Autism 4th Edition. She is the founder of Autism Institute, Research Institute in Maryland, and I was very fortunate to work with her on her book, and my name is in the acknowledgement section of the book, Autism 4th Edition. I know using your book to earn money and create business surrounding is a super bold claim, ain't it? Especially when I hear people say that, hey, becoming an author, a successful author, is a played out approach. You might be thinking, is it really possible to become an author and make money? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you some proof. And in the next 120 minutes, my friends, I'm going to teach you how you too can use your book to earn money, elevate your brand, and build business surrounding your book. So here they are. So these are some of our lockdown champions. So our author, Jay, she is the best-selling author of book Re-Engineer Yourself. And she published her book. And after publishing her book, she is getting so many speaking engagements. She's going for summits. She's being called for keynotes. And her book was actually reviewed by by the COO of Walmart. And she is doing great things. Author Kalpana is a children's book author, and she published her book. And then what happened is she was able to, she just few weeks back, she did her storytelling. And guess how many people attended? Guess. Can you guys guess? Imagine, just guess how many people attended. Perfect. Awesome, awesome. Yes. That's great. That's great. Yes. 600 plus people attended. There were like more than 650 comments on her like live event. Yes. That's the potential, my friend, that when it comes to doing your book right. Okay. Author Marilyn, when author Marilyn joined us, she did not even had any manuscript. She came up with an idea, and today She is a published author of a book where she is teaching leadership. Her book is spiritually inclined, and she is teaching leadership through the story of Nehemiah, him building the wall. And that is the power of doing your book. Author Dana and Cheryl. Dana and Cheryl actually, they owned a clinic where, and they used to, after publishing their book has actually, we had to include 18 pages of review for her book because her book was doing rounds. And then they ordered around 12,000 copies of their book to be distributed around the world. So, and Malika, I want you guys to actually hear from her. I'm sure she is actually the author of Loki and I, where she shared, and today she is the Canada's and India's very respected social justice activist. And I want you guys to hear from her about her story on how she used her book and did phenomenal with her book.
The book was immense tool in actually growing my business. I never thought a business is going to be born initially. It was just narrating a story through a film, and then my journal got converted into a book. But that was the DNA for my business. Business was born, New Horizon Media Arts, as you know. Again, we had an event where we brought a lot of people, a lot of cross cultural, cross media, you call it. Many people with a similar vision of social justice come under one roof. There were actually strong business houses that supported us through sponsorships, and we had over three hundred guests in the house on one single day with the same vision. We had powerful speeches, and they all came from the believing in the one ideology, which came from the book. Actually, I built my brand through the book. My name is Mallika Sotinathan. Many people know about it, but I got associated more with Loki and I. People started thinking, who's this Loki? Is that your sister? Or it used to be like this kind. And then that kind of pushed them to read the book. And that's how I have to thank my publishers who helped me actually reach that reader and bring in that curiosity on more. And it further helped me. Now I'm doing more workshops. So we have one coming December 7th. We have a workshop happening, and we have more networking events. Many social justice organizations invite me now to speak in their events or even help them coordinate their events. We are helping Ernstine Shelter, we are helping various other agencies. The best thing I could say that happened was reaching my audience. Initially, I used to get worried about who's my target audience. I think a book helps you to identify your target audience. So when you know somebody says, oh, I know you because I read your book, because yes, oh yeah, you're from Loki and I remember Loki and I, and that's become now synonym to my own name. So you build your brand, you build your business, you build your network through your book.
So she was able to get 300 plus people under one roof when she did the event. And it was totally sponsored by everyone. She did not have to spend a penny for that. So that is the power of your book, my friends. And as John says that he is 30% through my sales book and do not know anything about the next step. No problem, John. I'm telling you, you are at the right place, because after tonight's session, it's my bold promise that you are going to have complete clarity about everything, all the next steps, and everything under the umbrella of the book publishing. So you might be wondering, the question is, my friend, then that how did they become successful? How did all of these authors, despite from being different background, despite from being different genre, they were able to have success with their book? It all boils down to three elements, my friends. First, publishing their book right. Second, becoming authority in their space and in their subject matter. Third, converting their book, utilizing the power of their book and converting it into a recurring source of income and into a business. All these books had one thing in common, my friends, even if they were from different genre, different audience, and totally different from one another. They had one thing in common, and that is nothing but they all followed one publishing formula that I call the New Age publishing formula. And if they can do it, you can do it too. Now, the reason why most authors aren't being able to be successful with their book all comes down to these 5 big yet fixable mistakes, my friends. And it all starts with mistake number 1, which is the wrong content structure. When I say the wrong content structure, I don't mean that your story. I just don't mean that your material or your written element, your story. These are all secondary content. The major content, actually, the problem with these mistakes is, you know what? Majority of the aspiring authors, writers don't even know that they are doing this mistake when it comes to doing their book. When it comes to doing a book, what is the first element, my friends? Write in the chat section and tell me, what is the first element you think is the most important when it comes to writing your book? Okay, perfect. Stephanie says who I am writing for. Great. Hook, target audience, opening sentence, characters. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Theme, knowing what and who you are writing. Plot, okay. Yes, so let me tell you. So what happens is we are all talking about writing first. And that is where the thing is. When it comes to your content, writing is secondary, my friends. And let me tell you, and when the real, following a wrong content structure, what I mean, and screwing up the content, it all is categorized into these 3 elements: your audience, your book's anatomy, and your flow and format. I am pleased to see that some of you mentioned audience. Yes, these 3 are the basic elements when it comes to doing your book's content. That writing a winner book. Writing a winner book or writing a book which is super awesome doesn't start with writing. It starts with the first thing, that is your audience. And how do you know your audience? You research the market, whom you are writing your book for. The first thing is you need to know your audience persona. You need to know their likes. You need to know their dislikes. You exactly need to know whom you are writing for and whether the knowledge that you are sharing with them, are they really ready for that? Is there an audience, or do you have to actually mold it in such a way, package it in such a way so that they feel, yes, that is what I am looking for? So that is what the basic element when it comes to doing your book's content is your audience and researching your market strategically so that you know everything that you need to include in your book's content so that you don't have to sell the books to your audience. They feel like, hey, this is the book that is created just for me. I need to have this. So that is what is the most important elements. That is your audience, my friends. Next, is the book's anatomy. So when it comes to this, stands true for fiction book, non-fiction book, children's book, any book on earth, my friends. This is not something which I coined. This is there. Go ahead and pick any good book, any amazing book from your bookshelf right now, and you will see all these great books have one thing in common, that is they follow a specific book's anatomy, which is particularly true to their genre and their type of book. So this is something which prepares your books for success, my friends. Doing your content wrong is a very, very costly mistake, because that is the basic element, that is the building block, and your whole foundation, that is your writing, stands upon that. The third is the flow and format of your book. Over here, you will see I have shared 4 different formats only, because of course I cannot share all the formats that I can take. I can actually speak for 4 or 5 hours only on this topic. I mean, that great deal of detail is there under this topic. But for the sake of tonight's presentation, I know all of you are watching from different time zone, and probably you won't stay with me for the whole night or the whole day. So to make it simpler for you guys, let me explain what I mean when I say flow and format. So your book, every book is different. Over here, if you will see, all these 4 books look different than each other. And some of these books will appeal to you more, and some of the books will not, the other format will not appeal to you more. Happening with anyone out of these 4? Is there, like, right in the chat section, appeal, so that I know? Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. And see, other 3 are not appealing. So guys, you, upper left, lower left, yes. That is what each one of us is different. I mean, you saw over here we are different. So the same thing depends on what type of book you are writing. So let me guess. The upper left who said, I think you are more into literature and story writing and more of a self-help. Am I right or wrong? I think yes, right? And someone said lower left. So lower left is lower left. You are more into academics and more into hands-on workbook kind of a scenario, right? Yes. Exactly. So this is exactly what your audience needs to feel, my friend. So when it comes to you just saw here in today's session that I was able to tell your genre and your like just by seeing your preference for the format of the book. How did I do that? Did I talk to you? No. These all formats of the book is there for a reason, my friend. And this is there because you know why? There are different formats which are true to different genre. So it is your duty as an author, if you want to have a successful book, you need to format it in such a way so that your audience feels that it is created for them, so that it appeals to them. Many a time it would have happened that how many times has it happened that you picked up a book and after a chapter you never even touched a book? Happened with anyone? Yay, nay? You can write Y or N. Yes, right? These are something which is very common. So that's what happens, my friends. So you need to know the third element, that is your format and the flow of your book is right and is catered to your particular audience. So these are the 3 elements that you need to actually learn for yourself, need to actually research and do right for your book before even starting to write the entire content of the book per se. So these are the basic elements which will prepare your book for success, my friends. So let's listen to Marilyn and let's see. You will be able to hear that when she joined us, she had 0 manuscript. She just has a vague idea. She took a leap of faith. And today, I am super proud of her. So I would like for you all to listen to her.
What can I say? You know, I'm just almost at a loss for words right now, but I'm just really, I just attended a workshop. I heard about this workshop that Susmita was doing on Facebook, and it was, I think, on a Sunday afternoon. And when I attended, I was, I saw the ad. Let me go back and say, I was like, well, I don't have anything to do. Let me just attend. And I had no idea what the workshop fully was about. I thought it was just some writing tips. And I was like, well, I want to write a book one day. And, lo and behold, I asked this one question to Susmita that popped in my head at the end of the workshop for the question and answer period. And that question was, is it possible to have zero manuscript and use her services and come out with a finished book? And Susmita was like, absolutely. And, because I never heard of such a concept, but the question popped in my head. And that, my friends, was a game changer. Because of that question, I was in torture for the next 2 hours, praying, debating, calling up, my best friend. It really, that question, it stirred me up. It stirred me up to think, like, really, like, here's an opportunity. Can I do this? Is it possible? And most definitely it is. I'm living proof. And so the rest is history. And, by God's grace, I was able to write this book. So, yeah, I just praise God and thank everybody for being here and the overwhelming support that I've received from Susmita herself and the company, Global Book Publishing, as well as my pastor and so many friends and, family as well. Susmita worked so hard, probably the hardest she's ever worked, in helping me. And I just really, a lot of people don't know, we have spent tons and tons and tons of time together through text, emails, phone calls, Zoom. It's just well worth every penny. And I'm just so blessed and honored that by God's grace, I could write this book. I'm nobody special. If I can do it, you can do it. Go after your dreams. And I'll end with this. Like Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I'm nobody special again. Just go after your dreams. And I would highly recommend Susmita and Global Book Publishing. She never told me to say this, but she did an amazing job. So yeah, here's a copy once again of The Remnant by yours truly. So thank you so much for friends and family for joining, and God bless everybody.
So I'm sure you heard her story and you heard for yourself that how she was able to do it, even if she had no idea where to start, how to start, and where to go. So that's the potential. See, if you do your book right from the beginning, you will get to your destination, that is success, my friends. It is no rocket science, it's a process. It's a step-by-step technique that you need to follow, and you need to avoid those costly mistakes. Of course, what I just mentioned, as she said, that if she can do it, you can do it too. And that's very true. It's totally doable to do your book right. You just need to know what are the key elements so that you don't stall while you are on the journey to do your book right. So let's quickly walk through what we need to keep in mind when it comes to our first mistake and to avoid our first mistake, that is your screwing your content, that is doing the wrong content. First is you got to research your market so that you know whom you are writing for, what you should write, what they like, what they dislike, what you should include in your book, what you should exclude from your book. And the more specific you are, the better result you will get. Once you have done all your research, you know your audience, you know your book's anatomy, you know the flow and format, you know the genre and everything, you have done your homework, that is the time you write your first draft. So my friends, when I say, you will hear two words from me. That is, one is manuscript and one is first draft. What is first draft? First draft, when you start to write, always keep this in mind that, okay, I'm writing my first draft, and my first draft is going to have redundancies. My first draft is going to have mistakes. My first draft is going to have duplicate sentences, stories, redundancies, repetitions, and it is going to look horrible, and that's okay. Let me say this again. It's okay if your first draft looks horrible. That's the job of the first draft. So your first draft is your mind dump. Because now when you have your mind dump, now you have something in front of you to actually work on. You know those clay? So your first draft is a lump of a clay. And now you have your lump of a clay in front of you. And now is the time you're going to shape it to beautiful structure. So how do you shape your clay into beautiful structure? That is your first draft to your manuscript. The thing that you do is, first you get feedback from your friends, readers, if you have any. So let me explain this. When it comes to getting feedback, respect others' time. Let me put it this way. If I give you say 50,000 word manuscript and I tell you, hey, would you please read my manuscript and give me feedback? A raw manuscript, do you think you will read the entire thing? It's a practical thing, my friends. Everyone is having our life happening to us. And that is why break your book. So here's a deal. Here's the thing that you can do. If your book has, say, 10 chapters, break it into chunks of 2 chapters each for 5 different people. And then send them those 2 chapters and ask them the question that you want answers for. Tell them specifically that, hey, I am not looking for you to correct my manuscript. This is my first draft. Keep them informed that what they need to do. If you think that, people know, review for every different person is different. When I review a manuscript as an editor, I am very critical. I mean, if I'm doing line editing, I do different job. If I'm doing developmental editing, I will do a different job. If I'm just giving feedback or critique, my job is different. So review is different for different people. Respect that and ask them informed question and inform them beforehand so that they know exactly what you are expecting from them. Now, once you get all the feedback, that is the time you will incorporate the feedback on your first draft. That is where you will review. You will not review while writing, because then if you do that, you will be in that loop of WRR vortex, because you will write, review, rewrite, review, and it will go on. I know a friend of mine who has been writing his manuscript for the past 20 years, and he still feels that he isn't there yet. So my friends, be careful. So now once you do that, now you will have your manuscript ready. And now is the time to choose your title after you have tested it. So what do I mean by choosing your book title? So let me explain this. When you are writing your book, you might be wondering that, hey, Sushmita, I already know my book title. Well, great. I'm sure all of you have a book title in mind. But what I'm saying is, don't be very staunch to your title. Because if you are very rigid to your book title, then every time you will restrict your imagination. So every time you sit to write something, you will be like, is my content fitting my title? That should not be. Have a free flow of imagination. Have a working title in your head. And then once you are ready with your manuscript, that is the time you can research. I mean, at Global Book Publishing, our authors research it and we do informed research. We help our authors to do informed research, and they come up with 10 different titles for their book, which they think will fit right for their book, and then they will then from 10 to 5 ask people. See, I will tell you one thing, my friends. When it comes to success in anything, any product, you are creating your book, you have to think your book from the perspective of a business owner now, you salesperson now, no matter how hard it sounds. It's like you have to think from a sales point of view, marketing point of view, and you have to leave that I syndrome, because your book success depends on your audience. So everything that you do, you choose a title, you choose a story, whatever you do inside that book, I know you have some ideas, you are subject matter expert, but keep this one thing in mind, that instead I am not going to fall for I syndrome. I am going to have that you element in my book, so that your audience, it is for you, what is my audience going to get, whether my audience is going to like my book title. Ask your audience and they will tell you which book title. And then, like, a lot of the time it happens that our authors, they come up with three like finally the three book titles they love, and they're like, Sushmita, I don't want to let go of any. And then what we do is we combine it to create a book title and a subtitle for the book. So now, last but not the least is your book cover. Keep this in mind. When it comes to your book's content, your book title and your book cover are the two basic elements that will decide the fate of your book, my friend. I know it is, you might have heard that don't judge a book by its cover, but my friends, your book is going to be judged every single time by two elements, that is its cover and its title. So let's look at these four. These are books, book cover which converts. So when I say book cover that converts, what I mean is, just look at these books. Don't you feel intrigued? Don't you feel like, oh my God, these book covers, I mean, why is that white raven coming out of her head? Your book cover should have mystique. Your book cover should have the element of, for them to look at it, feel intrigued, and feel like, what is it? Bring in question in their head, make them feel like I should get it. These are all the elements. Look at the second book cover, which says no friend but the mountains. Is it a story about the man lost in the mountain all alone? Doesn't it come to your mind? All these books cover were created with lots of thoughts. And that is how, when you create a book cover, you need to keep in mind that, yes, my book cover should look professional, should have the power elements that will help my book cover convert. So keep this in mind when it comes to your book's content and it comes to your book's cover, my friend. So let me ask you all this. Like, these two, consider these two are the two different book covers. Which one would you like to pick if you have to choose from these two books, A or P? Type A. Okay. Of course, Pro, right? Because Pro is Pro because it shows the professionalism. You know that this book belongs to a professional who knows the real deal. This is not the book which is just done. So your professionalism shows from each and every element of the book. And when people tell me that, hey, Sushmita, it is so hard to sell the books. Of course, it will be hard to sell the books if you did not consider the basic elements to make it considerable by people, by your readers. So that is why keep this in mind that I just mentioned. And with that, let's move on to our next mistake. Super costly mistake, and a mistake you should avoid at any cost as an author. That is the wrong team or working with inexperienced team. This is a dynamite of a mistake for authors. So what I mean by working with an experienced team, my friends. So your book has different elements. It is, when I talk about team, editorial team. A book requires at least three different types of editing and a proofreading. And who does it? Your editors. And let me explain that. Developmental editing is not required by everyone. This is basically true for people who are not into writing space much. But if you are a writer who knows what you are writing, you do not need developmental editing all the time. But line editing, copy editing, and post layout proofreading is a must. There is no, and when I say editors, when they are your editors, then your proofreaders, your book's interior designers, then your cover designer. These are all your A team, my friends. And your book success depends in the hand of these people that you're working with. And these are something which you cannot go wrong. And no matter how good a content your book has, no matter how amazing or how much ever time you have invested in your book, if you don't have people who are the core team and give your book life, right, then it is going to be very hard for you to be successfully publish a professional looking book. When I say editors, there is a misconception surrounding the editing and proofreading, my friend. So let me explain. In editing, see, editors are not people who will correct English grammar. That is the 5% of their job. So there is a misconception. People say that I have been an editor. I mean, I started my career being an editor for world's big publishing company. So my job was never to correct the English grammar. That is 5% of the job. A line editor job is much more than that. A line editor will go through the of your book line wise. We'll see whether your book has a right start, whether your book has a good ending so that people don't leave your book just at the table after finishing chapter 1. There is a coherence, there is a flow, there are so many elements. I mean, if I talk about it, I can take whole day. I mean, I have given lecture on this like from 9 to 5 as well. So this is that big a topic, my friend. Copy editor's job is, what copy editors does is they follow a manual. All good copy editors know a Chicago Manual of Style is a universally accepted editorial style. It's manual that a copy editor looks for. Like, there are different elements. I mean, it's this big manual, and manual. Of course, big and thick manual. So that is the job of a copy editor. Proofreader is someone who is not going to edit your manuscript. That is the job of your editor. Proofreader will look at what we follow and what I have been doing forever in my life, working with all the giants, and what I follow at the same in global book publishing as well, is our editors do proofreading of the PDF pages. So proofreading of the PDF pages proofreading is not about, again, looking at English grammar text. That is all taken care in the editorial portion. Proofreading is to see the bleed, see whether there is good standard space between the images. There is some joint words, there is some hanging words, orphan sentences, widow sentences. There is like the space between the footnotes, if any. Bibliography, whether it is like if your book has references, then is it done right, it is referenced right, whether there are a right amount of space between, like, the page numbers, and alignment, and overall look and feel of a book, my friend. That is the job of a proofreader. Now, book interior designer is the one who is going to convert your book into the final product. So there is, again, this saying that, convert your Word file into a PDF and voila, you can upload it to Amazon and you become an author. Not gonna happen. Let me make it clear. Not gonna happen. If you want to get your book printed, you want to get it typeset. And the designer, typesetter are the ones who create. All those format I showed you just a few slides back? Those are the different formats, and that is what it needs to be created. And a typesetter does that job, and cover designer, of course. Cover designer is one person in your team where you cannot go wrong. You have to make sure that your cover designer knows what they are doing. Because as Steve Jobs says, I don't want to hire a smart person and tell him or her what to do. I want to hire a smart person so that they can tell me what I need to do. The same thing applies for all of you, my friend. You need to find your A team so that they can tell you what is good for you rather than you telling them, because you are not expert in those areas. Those are technical jargons, and those areas they are expert for. But remember, when you are choosing your A team, they just don't need to know the tools. They must know how to use the tool. So if you look at this image, you will see the person knows that there is a tool to drill a hole that's called to drill, the drill, of course, but they don't know how to use that tool. They're hammering the drill. So that's totally wrong. So the same thing applies for all of you when it comes to your A team. Find out people who knows how to use the right tool in a proper manner, not someone who just knows, there is a tool, but I don't know how to use it. There is a drill, but I will hammer it somehow. Whether it would work for you or not, that's not my job. So invest on a person, because they are your core people who decide the fate of your book, my friends. So let's quickly review what we just said. Keep this in mind. Work with the right team. First is hire a great line editor. Second, hire a great copy editor. Third, hire a professional typesetter. Hire an awesome proofreader. And hire a professional cover designer, my friends. So these are your A team, and invest your energy, go online, go to Google and learn about all these people. Take notes so you know what I mean. So with that, let's move to our third mistake. That is the wrong sales or branding approach, my friends. So when it comes to the branding and the sales of the book, oftentimes it happens that, okay, how many of you want to use your book to build your brand? Anyone? Say build brand or BB. I want to make it short for you. Of course, you want to, because your book is going to talk about you. And people are going to look at you through your book. But majority of the time, what happens is, and it's not that it's wrong or right. It's just that that's how people think. It's like, okay, I will wait. Let me first focus on my book first. And then once my book comes in, once my book is ready and published, I will start marketing my book and people will come and jump and buy my book. Not going to happen. From years of sales experience, I can say not going to happen. But let me tell you. Okay, these two are, one on your left, you have a computer, and on your right, there is a phone, smartphone. And can you guess which are these two brands? Let me tell you, the phone on the right is even better than an iPhone and cheaper than an iPhone. Any guess? Anybody knows the brands? Any guess? Okay, let me review. So the one computer over here on my left is a computer by Xerox, and a phone on my right is a smartphone by Dell. You know why you don't know about these phones? Because these phones were not successful. They could not make it to customers. They could not cater to their customer. You know why? Because when it comes to Xerox, what comes to your mind? Printing machine, ain't it? When it comes to Dell, what comes to your mind? Computer, laptop. That is what the brand has brand image that you have for a particular product. We all have. And that is the reason when Xerox came with a computer, it was not welcomed. When Dell came with a smartphone, it was not welcomed, because in the mind of the consumer, Dell cannot be a smartphone and Xerox cannot be a computer. So that is the same apply for you guys. You need to follow the right approach when it comes to branding. I mean, when it, I absolutely adore Apple, and I am a diehard fan of Steve Jobs. I mean, he is God to me. So you know why? Why iPhone is so successful with whatever they come? Because iPhone doesn't sell people the product. They sell people the emotion. They sell Steve Jobs' rebellion. They sell that you are different. Nike is different. So this is why, my friend, you need to create your brand image in your audience mind. Because if you don't do that, if you let them think what your book is about, I am telling you, 99.9% of the time they are going to think it in a wrong way. And changing someone's belief is very, very, very hard. That is why it is your duty from the day you are serious about starting. I mean, when our author joins our program, so from day one, they start working on creating their brand image so that once their book comes out, they have exact, like, their book are portrayed exactly how they want to be portrayed in front of their audience. So let's look at what are the right approach when it comes to avoiding our third mistake, that is the wrong sales and branding approach. First thing is you need to publish your book professionally with no content mistake, no editing mistake, and no typesetting mistakes. Okay, so that is the basic necessity. Second, create a mind-thrilling, amazing trailer. So anyone knows what is a book trailer? Right? Y or N? Totally fine. It's okay. Anyone knows what is a movie trailer? Yes? Yes, right? So what does a movie trailer do for you? We decide to go and watch the movie, spend our money on the ticket by seeing the movie trailer. That is the exact job of your book trailer, my friends. Your book trailer is the basic elements in today's world for you to get in front of people, for your book to get in front of people, to create that want in people. So that is what book trailer is. So book trailer should contain at least 2 to 3 of the 7 very important elements. That is your power, passion, innovation, alarm, mistake, prestige, and alert. These are the 7 very, very important elements when it comes to creating your sales content. So I am not telling this, I have not made this. Your book trailer is your basic sales element for your book. So these are 7 elements which have been created by the world sales expert. And from that, your book trailer should have at least 2 to 3 of these elements to make it successful. To make you understand, well, let me show you a book trailer so that you understand the importance and you feel that what I am trying to convey here.
In school, we learned about the world before ours, about the angels and gods that lived in the sky, ruling the earth with kind and loving hands. Some say those are just stories, but I don't believe that. The gods rule us still. They have come down from the stars, and they are no longer kind.
So who is going to check this book out? I'm sure a lot of you are already, oh my God, this book is good. I need to check it out. Oh my God, what are they going to talk about? So, exactly, my friend. The job of your book trailer is exactly what you felt from this particular book trailer. So, your book should have a book trailer in today's world to actually, that is the basic element in today's world to get your book done right and in front of people when it comes to the basic elements of sales and marketing for your book. So, as I said, book trailer, then utilize the power of social media strategically, consistently, so that you are in front of people again and again, so that they see you. In today's world, we live in the scrolling world where we just scroll, scroll, scroll. So you need to appear in front of people again and again and again and again to make them notice you. So I'm sure a lot of you are here and you have seen our ads, right? You have signed up for the event tonight by seeing the ads many times. So that is, you need to get in front of people again and again for them to notice. Even if they don't, sometimes your audience don't even know that they want or they will like it until and unless they see it at least a few times. In sales context, it is at least 7 times. And in physical context, it is at least 5 times. So that is the job when it comes to the basics of your marketing. Create a professional looking, friendly website where all of your audience is under your umbrella, because when they become your follower, they can become your fan, and you will be able to offer them a lot more than just a book. So have your people under your umbrella rather than them wandering under umbrella of like Amazon's or some other platform. Strategic partnership with booktubers, book bloggers. Today we are living in the world of, in the global world, my friends. I mean, we as a society, as a world, have evolved. In today's session only, we have people from Australia, from US, from London, from so many parts of the world, right? So that is the job. Once you are working on your book sales and marketing, go ahead, partner with people writing the similar kind of book from a different city, country, or anywhere. I mean, the reach is global now. And then imagine if you do something together, they will have a reach to your audience, you will have a reach to their audience. So your audience base increases. And that is how you, because your audience trusts you. So when you welcome someone from outside, they are going to trust them as well. And the same is true for you too. So that is how you can increase your presence, and that is how you will make lot of sales. See, selling your book is not a rocket science, my friends. It's something that you need to do these small things here, all these small things, which is not something hard. It is not something not doable. I think all of us do it anyway. You just need to do it. Keep in mind one thing, that is, I need to sell my book, I need to market my book. So that is what is important. You can get the right approach when it comes to your book sales and marketing is to get, if you want to get reviews for your book nowadays, I'm sure you might agree that people are very reluctant after the Facebook event happened, that the identity issue, that's why they are not very open to writing reviews on Amazon much nowadays. So if does that mean that if you are not getting reviews on Amazon, it is not, your book is not good enough? So what you can do is you can actually create an art group, that is your advanced reader group, send them the advanced copies, get the reviews, and have your reviews printed in the first few pages of your book. So once they click on your book, the first thing that they see is the reviews written by real people and included in the book or at the back cover of the book. So our author who were Jay, we have received reviewed from CEO of Walmart. Like our book, one of our book had a review from the founder of Landmark Education. So that is, and it was printed in the back of the book, and this one was printed in the first page of the book. So whenever someone looks at the book, it automatically speaks credibility. Go reach to the local bookstore. I mean, this was true basically for pre-COVID era, and it will be true for the post-COVID era. If you don't want to go through a very expensive distribution agency, if you want a much cheaper version, then go ahead and talk to the local bookstores and ask them, do they have a consignment program? So what does that mean is they will buy certain copies from you, and then they will have the book up in the local bookstore where you will be able to do author signing and do your launch event and everything. So it is a win-win for both. People will come to attend your your event, and they are going to buy more books. So it is a win-win situation for you and the store as well. Sign up for host giveaways, my friends. So, the most important thing when it comes to selling your book is you need to have and create a brand surrounding your book, business surrounding your book. You need to have your email list, my friend. And how do you build email list? Write this down. There is this platform called MailChimp. 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 It's a free platform. Go ahead, create your account, and you will be anyhow getting 2,000 subscribers allocated to you. Okay. And then what you can do that you can actually create a form there, and you can host giveaway. Hey, I am going to do a giveaway for my book. And then they can sign up with their email ID and their password. And imagine that will help you build your email list. And imagine if you have just 1,000, I will give you the hard number so you understand the beauty of it. So even if you have like 1,000 subscribers, okay, so if you even sell your book, like sell 17 times, it's like $17,000. Like if you sell your book for $17 as well, it is 17,000. It is anyhow. This is the power, my friend. This is the power of your book. So host those giveaways so that you can get those email IDs, and you can do this so many times. And I'll tell you one thing. This 17 is not some number that I created. This is the number that is actually there. And they say that with each email ID, you make $17. So this is some research that is done. So if you have a broad email list, so if you have 1,000 email and if you make $17 from that one email, just from 1,000 email, you have $17,000. So that is how important and useful email list is, my friend. And email list will help you sell more, either your books or other products if you have them. So email list is very, very, very important. Okay. Now, if you want to appear on local media channels, like I appeared on Charlotte's TV for 1 year, back to back. I had my different shows running in the channel. It happened because I went and asked them. And then they learned my credibility, and then they offered me that. So go ahead, if you want to get noticed and want to have that, get on the TV and radio channel, go and ask. Always be ready for your no, but my friends, what if there is a yes? And I did it, our authors did it. So it's no rocket science, you can do it too. Apply it, I'm telling you, it works. It has worked for every one of my authors, it will work for you. So that's a guarantee, I'm telling you. All you need to do is be ready for your no. Out of 10, probably 9 people will say no. Who cares? 1 is going to say yes. That is what you need. Now, last but not the least is your podcast interviews. Podcast interviews are amazing, and that is an amazing way to reach your audience and broaden your audience base. Go ahead, check in your field that there are podcasters around. I mean, nowadays you can go global and then appear on their podcast, and that is how they will get to notice you and your audience. These are the ways that you actually broaden your audience. And the more audience you have, the more you will sell books. Simple maths, okay? The more people you have, the more audience you create, the more books you will sell. As simple as that. So these are all that comes under when it comes to doing your books sales and marketing in a right way. With that, let's move to the next mistake. Mistake number 4, which is wrong book mindset. Yes, mindset. You know what? Let me ask you, do you know? Can you tell me, right in the chat section, what do you think is the future of your book? I'm going to explain anyway, but I want to listen from you guys that what do you think when it comes to what is the future of your book? Tell me in the chat section. What do you think? Perfect. What else? Creating community capacity, more ridiculous kids book being written. That's nice. Finished. Loved by reader. Movie inspiration. Okay. Teaching and eye-opening. Correct. Helping people, of course. But let me ask you one thing. That you want to help people. But how would you help people? The more you will reach to the people, the more you will be helping people. So I am a very firm believer of one thing, my friends. And that is that the more money you make, the more impact you create in people's life. Things coming for free all the time, no one takes it very seriously. I know all of you want to create impact in people's life, but how do you do that? So let me explain that in detail, because the more impact you create, the more money you make. It is a loop, you know. The more money you make, the more impact you create. The more impact you create, the more money you will make. How do you do that? So let me explain that when I say future of your book, and I am telling you, be ready to take notes. First, now you have your book written. What you can do with that? You have the content already written. You can convert your book into blog post. You can convert into different, because your knowledge is not in that 100 to 100 pages. Your knowledge is like thousands and thousands of pages. You can convert your book. You can convert your knowledge. You can write blog posts. You can create video courses. You can create podcast series. You can write as many articles. You can create audiobooks, and you can create a complete business surrounding your book, my friends. This is very, very important, my friends, when it comes to future of the book. And that is what, it's not that I wanted you all to write down the answers, because you know what happens is we tend to underestimate the power of the book, and there is no need to be modest. You need to be successful with your book, because you need to know how to utilize the book as a tool for success. And that is what I just showed you. Imagine these are the different elements. When I said recurring source of income, this is what it is. Now, once you have done this, blog post, one source of income, video courses, you can do so many. I mean, I personally have converted my books into video course. So I am having like so many different into audiobooks. So these are all different sources of income targeting your different audience. My friends, I'm telling you, when you go to someone's podcast interview, you say that I have an audiobook. Podcast listeners are the listeners. So let me tell you, there are 3 kinds of people, okay? People who are auditory, who are visual, and who are kinesthetics. So you need to know whom you are targeting. You need to have products to target these 3 different kinds of people. So auditory people are the ones who loves to hear, listen. They are not the reader kind. So your ebook or your paperback book is not going to cater to that audience. So when you have an audiobook, now that audience you can capture. people who are visual. You can create a video course, you can create an article which they will feel like, that they are looking at it. Video course is you are appearing in front of them, you are talking to them as I'm talking to you, like a talking head, and they are like feeling more connected. So that is another base of audience. And the third kind is kinesthetics, who are more into like, doing and movement related to. So you can create exercise surrounding it, some games surrounding it, and so that they feel, yes, this is for me. And these are all the possibilities your book hold, my friend. So this is a very, very big mistake that authors do unknowingly. It's not that you really do it. There are certain things, I'm sure in today's session so far, you guys have gotten a lot of things that you probably didn't even know, ain't it? Yes? Why? Did you learn something new today? Yes. Thank you. Awesome. So this is, don't underestimate the power. You are not writing, investing your time, investing your money in just writing a book and selling some few thousand copies. Think big with your book, because I'm telling you, my friends, the more lives you impact, the better it will be for you and for them. And that is not possible if you think in a linear manner. So let me just hear her. She is our best-selling author, Jay, and after she published her book, she is now being called for keynotes, and she is giving lectures, and she is going for leadership summit and whatnot. So, and she has now become a total entrepreneur and doing absolutely great things. So hear from her how publishing her book changed her life totally.
So becoming an author helped me in my business is to narrow down my goals and set aside in achievement, them reflected in my business and a profession and as an entrepreneur. So I get a lot of asking to speak in their companies and like a speaking engagement in different clubs, and to making my audience have to they recognize me already and in my ability. So I am giving them the leadership like speeches about the book, and then how did I do it, like as an immigrant young girl, and then how did I overcome all of the obstacles. And they like to listen to those things, and then they wanted to help someone else and then I wanted to be that professional person and to speak on their behalf of their companies like a spokeswoman. And that is something that's happening with me right now. Actually, this was only possible that after I became an author, and it's helped me to regain and then my business as a professional entrepreneur.
So I'm sure by now you saw the power your book holds. So don't underestimate the power of your book, and utilize your book in its full potential, and trust me, you will be super successful with your book. With that, we are now going forward to our fifth mistake. But before I go into that, which is about wrong strategy, and it is one of the most important factor that you need to consider, I want to ask, like, is my pace all right? Am I too fast? Am I too slow? I mean, is everything make sense? Is everything okay? So that, like, and I want your 100% attention. Type in the chat section if it is a go. And I want your 100% attention for this part, my friend. Perfect. So this is the most important factor when it comes to doing your book right. That is the mistake, which is following a wrong strategy. Now, what do you mean by following a wrong strategy? So I call it wrong PTSD approach. So what do I mean by that? Wrong publishing path, wrong tools, wrong style, and wrong direction. So we spoke about wrong publishing path. I'm going to speak about wrong publishing path shortly so that you understand different publishing paths and take informed decision for yourself. Wrong tools, we already spoke about how hire a team who knows how to utilize the tool right, so that, and use tools which will help make your book succeed, rather than using a wrong tool or using a right tool in a wrong manner. We spoke about the wrong style, the flow and format, because that is where lies your audience attention span, audience, making it whether they will finish the book or utilize it at its full potential or not. So we spoke about that. So now, wrong direction. So when it comes to wrong direction, my friends, it is like very, very important. Choosing a wrong direction can really harm your book success. So let me explain what I mean by wrong direction and how you can use the right strategy. So consider this picture. You are now in this part, like on the bottom left is where you are, and your book is on top right. So you can using wrong strategy means you are going around the loop and going around and around, trying, failing, and then not approaching it in right way. And then hopefully one day you will probably reach your goal, probably your book will be done. But majority of the time you might get lost in those loops of doing and then learning, redoing and applying, again doing the mistake. So that is what happens when it is like when you don't have the right direction. Having the right direction strategy, what do I mean by that is, when you have the right strategy in front of you, it is like a step-by-step process. Okay, do 1, do 2, do 3, and that is where it makes it shoot from bottom left to top right. It is a direct path, and that path is catered to your investment in doing it right, what I just spoke about throughout so far for the past one and a half hour. Now let me explain what I mean by that. So if you look at this photo, so this house is built by looking at a blueprint, right? That is the blueprint. Without the blueprint, nobody, if someone wants to if a civil engineer thought that, hey, I'm not going to create any blueprint, I'm going to ask my construction workers to right away build the house. So what will happen? They will build a house something like this. Who wants to live in the house which has a stairway going nowhere? Nobody, right? I will probably plant something and create it a nice distraction so that people don't know that I'm fool, right, to create. So that is what happens when you have a wrong blueprint, my friend. You create a wrong end product. So that is what happens when you have the wrong what I mean by wrong direction. So you need the right blueprint to produce the right result. Okay, so now when it comes to, so it's just like a kayak, my friends. I'm telling you, and pay attention over here, because it's very, very important for you to understand. You might have the best kayaks on earth, the most expensive one. You might have the best paddle. You might be a great kayaker. But let me ask you, if you do not do the basic thing, that is, you put the kayak on water in the right direction, or you probably put the kayak in a wrong direction, will you be able to reach your destination? No, right? Or probably you are putting your world's best kayak and you are the best driver of the kayak, but you are putting it in a river where there's no water. Do you think it will work out? So that's where the real deal comes in, my friend. You need to know how to actually utilize the blueprint, create it in a step-by-step format so that you don't get in the world where you have the best of resources, but you don't know where to use it right. So did it make sense so far? Right, Kayak, if it made sense. If I was able to make you understand the importance of the strategy. Yes, awesome. Thanks, Jacob. Amazing, Stephanie. Yes, I am so happy you all are following. Awesome, Kanika. Carol, amazing. So yes, you guys are following. Where are others? I can see only few of you writing. So do you understand, right, Kayak, if you understand that what all I mentioned so far? Yes, perfect, perfect, wonderful. So with that, as I spoke, that we are going to talk about the publishing path. So I know there is a big confusion in this industry saying that which publishing path to go. Self-publishing, traditional publishing, what publishing? There are so many publishing, right? So let me do one thing. So let me explain it one by one so that you can have complete clarity about the different publishing path. So let's start. First is your book's outcome, sole control of your book's outcome. So in self-publishing, because you are your own boss, you have the complete control of your book. But in traditional publishing, you give your right to the traditional publishing house, and they might, if your book has content which might not resonate with their brand value, they might want to change it and you wouldn't have control over it. Now, your book's control your rights. So as I just mentioned that in self-publishing, you are the boss, you own the 100% right to your book. And in traditional publishing, the right will be with the traditional publishers. Control over your story, your control, your story, as I just mentioned, in self-publishing, you can kill your Jon Snow. You can do whatever you want, okay? But in traditional publishing, you will not have control over your story. If your story has element which might hurt their brand as a whole, they are going to change it because, of course, they are not going to hurt their brand just for one book. Control over your cover. In self-publishing, as I mentioned, you have to find your own A team and you have to work on your cover, do your research, find out and create a cover that converts. But in traditional publishing, the publishing house as a team who will work on your cover and create cover for you. Deadlines. When it comes to deadlines in self-publishing, the deadlines are not hard deadlines because we create our own deadlines and we tend to miss because life is happening with everyone, and that's how, and probably we are in that loop of writing WRR vortex and we are not able to move forward. But in traditional publishing, you have very hard deadlines. You know, I said like the printer, the first printed copy used to come to me for approval. So what used to happen is the printer was decided 1.5 year to 2 year before even the book was in the manuscript stage, because the printer dates cannot move. And if you miss a printer date, to get another printer date is like, again, you have to wait for a year or so. So that's why they have very hard deadline. And if you are busy, like I worked with John Hopkins Medical College and everywhere, and I have been working with the doctors also because I worked on medical books, and doctors are always busy, right? So they used to miss on the deadlines on review of their manuscript and everything. And we used to proceed as is because we cannot hold it for. So that is the deadline. Editing is included in traditional publishing because they will have expert editorial team who will work on your manuscript and give it a shape and whatever editorial requirement your manuscript will have. In self-publishing, as I said, you have to find your own A team, your team of editors, proofreaders, and that is your job. In cover design is, in traditional publishing, cover design is included in sense they will create your cover for you, but in self-publishing, you have to create your own cover by doing your own research and work. Marketing. Now, this is one very, one area where people, there is a huge myth. People, you know, I'm sure you might have heard that once you sign the contract with traditional publishers, you get a lump sum money. Actually, that lump sum money for people like you and me is $5,000 to $15,000. But that money is not for you to go on a lavish vacation in Hawaii. So let me explain. Have any one of you seen one book stays in the shelf, on the shelf of a bookstore forever? Yes, no? No, right? So that is what happens. No. Yes, we don't. So where does those book goes if they don't sell? So they go to the warehouse. And who pays for the inventory? The author pays. So that is why they give you initial help to actually market your book so that your book sells. But in self-publishing, the thing is, what is the difference in marketing? Of course, self-publishing, you have to do marketing of your own. And I just mentioned how and why and everything. But what is the difference? The difference is, even if in traditional publishing, you need to market your book yourself, there are restrictions. A friend of mine was not able to give his book to his audience in the workshop because to his surprise, he learned that he needed written signing of an agreement to give away his own book to his own audience for free. Now, self-publishing, you have to do marketing for your own book, but the horizon is yours. You can do whatever you like. Next is 100% royalties. So when it comes to royalties of your book, in self-publishing, you have 100% royalties. And in traditional publishing, the royalty differs based on the different type of book, from 10% to 15% based on what type of book you are, like hard copy, paperback, or ebook. It depends on that. But it is between 8 to 12.5%. Yes. So that is how this is both the world of publishing, like self-publishing, traditional publishing. But what if there is a third world of publishing, my friend, which is partnership publishing? So what is a partnership publishing is? Partnership publishing is taking the good from both the world and combining it together. Here, you will be working with an established publishing company, their editorial team, their designing team, their marketing team, who will help you actually professionally publish your book. And this is what the three different world of publishing. And by now, and oh yes, I forgot to mention that in traditional publishing, you cannot directly write to a publisher nowadays because they give it to the agent. So you have to find an agent if you want to go that route. So by now, I'm sure you now have complete clarity about the different world of publishing. So here is Rebecca Donovan, and she sent her manuscript to agents again and again, agents after agents after agents, and nobody even opened her email. And hear her story, my friends. You will see that how amazing that she was like, if they would have opened my manuscript only once, they would have known it's how life-changing it is.
First beta reader, when she finished the first book, I asked her how she felt. She says, I want to jump off a cliff. And I said, yes, that's exactly how you should be feeling right now. And I took joy in her misery. But that's because I did it. I evoke emotion.
I wanted to be traditionally published. I sent query letters to agents. Not a single agent read my manuscript. And I was convinced that if one person read it, that they would see that there was something here.
Then I read an article that talked about the trend of self-publishing and how the KDP program was the easiest way to self-publish.
Through independent publishing, my voice has been able to be heard because I wasn't at the mercy of the trends or the publishing market or what the actual publisher or agent was looking for to fit the niche that they have missing within their company. I got to write about anything I wanted to write about, and then the audience decided if that's something they were ready to read.
There was no risk. So all I had to do was put it out there, and if people liked it, they'd read it. And if they didn't, then they wouldn't. But enough people liked it that they told more people to read it. And with that, my sales, I've had people come up to my table and they're literally shaking. They're crying. I'm in awe of what I've been able to do and how I've been able to affect their lives.
See, my friends, that is the potential a book holds. Nowadays, when I, like years back, a decade back, when I was with the publishing industry, traditional publishers, people were not very open to self-publishing and all those areas. But nowadays, nobody cares how your book is published. Nobody even looks at it until and unless you tell them. If you have a good story, if you have right content, if you have done it right, they are going to love it. Nobody cares how it's published. They just care about the content nowadays, you know. So it's time. So we covered all the mistakes. So it's time to recap what all we learned. So write down, who all remembers? So what is the first mistake? Write down. What is the first mistake that we talked about? Yes, wrong content structure. Second, sorry. What is the second mistake? Perfect. What is the third mistake? Sales and branding approach. Yes. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Awesome. What is the fourth one? Wrong book mindset. And what is the fifth one? Wrong strategy, right? Yes. So these are all the must-dos when it comes to doing your book professionally done and publish it right to make it successful. One, the right content structure. Second, the right team. Third, the right sales and branding approach. Fourth, the right book mindset. And fifth, the right strategy. So these are the 5 must-dos for all the aspiring authors. And once you have done it right, I can tell you, it's my bold promise that you will be successful with your book. It's no rocket science, it's totally doable. So I keep getting asked this question all the time that, hey, Sushmita, can I become a best-selling author? Of course you can. Yes, you can. It's not rocket science. And what I have given you today, my friends, is an entire blueprint. I haven't held back a single thing. So I have given you an entire blueprint. And with this blueprint, you have 2 options. You can utilize this blueprint and you can use it for yourself, use it on your own, and hopefully and eventually you will be able to publish your book. But what if? What if there is an option number 2? That is the done with you. So with this, what happens is your book, you can work with us. You will work with me when I will personally help you publish your book right and become successful with your book and create a brand surrounding your book, my friends. Then this is called the Get Published program. And the Get Published program, it is a step-by-step program which teaches you to write your winner book. With this program, I have designed it such a way which will help you to publish your book, position yourself as an expert in your field, and create impact in the lives of people, my friends. And there is no lack of clarity or confusion about it. It's a blueprint which worked for our authors, which worked for me, and it will work for you too. The entire process has been simplified so that it's dummy proof. It's complete dummy proof, I'm telling you. And it's absolutely fastest way to reach from point A to point B. The direct click to go from point A to point B. Now, let me tell you one thing. There is not even a single program in existence, my friends, which is 100% hands-free. So Get Published program is a done with you program where we will be working with you to make your book a success story. And if someone tells you that you don't have to be involved at all, we will publish your book all for you, run fast. Because you cannot imagine, it's like, raising your child. You need to be involved to raise your child the right way, because every parent has their own way of raising a child. Every author has their way of their author voice. So the sentence that I speak in a manner, you will speak probably in a totally different way. And my audience is totally different. Your audience will be totally different for the same content. And that is why it is a done with you program where we respect our author's involvement, because our author is the one who is the core element of the book's success. Now, I have created this program to help you become successful author. Simple. And it's literally the best in the world, my friends. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to see why I'm saying that. And there is not even one program compares to what I have created related to Get Published program. So you must be wondering, hey, Sushmita, what is the price? How much do I need to pay to get in the program? Well, my friends, the regular price of this program is $19,997, but this program is not available for direct sale. I mean, even if you are ready to pay me $19,997 right now, because you know that I know a thing or two, this program is not available for direct sale, my friends. You will get, so I work with my authors one-to-one, and that is why it is very important for me to know that we are a right fit for each other, because so that it's a fruitful journey for both of us. So you will get an opportunity by end of today's session to fill in an application where we will be able to review our application. We will talk face to face, and then we can decide whether we are a good fit or not. The regular price of the program, as I said, is $19,997. But for today, I have a very, very special offer, my friend. So stay tuned. But before I reveal the price, before I tell you the good news, let me explain what all this program includes. So this program includes writing your winner book. So I am going to personally, if you are selected in the program, I am going to personally help you write your winner book. All these things that I mentioned about, like, doing the research right, and then creating the content, and creating the perfect structure, writing the first draft, getting reviews, book title, covers, I am going to personally help you do each one of them so that you are able to write a winner book, which will actually help you become successful. So, and we also have our home study course. So you will be meeting with me, we will be working together, but at the same time, at 3 a.m. at night, if you feel like I have a question, so you can go to our home study course and search for that element, and you can directly have your answers then and there. You will never have any writer's block because you will always have accessibility to the answer. It's kind of an encyclopedia, my friend, where you will have access to all your questions, and I will personally answer it and help you write your winner book. That also includes high-end editing. It includes the line editing, copy editing, post layout, proofreading. It includes the developmental editing. If your book needs a developmental editing, our developmental editor will help you edit your book, help you develop the story in a better format. And even if you are the best writer in the world, we will still have your book go through the developmental editing in case you want to consider something. So all these different editing is included, is part of the program. As part of the program, our cover designing team will research along with you, create different samples, come up with different samples, and create the cover that converts, my friends. If your book has images, then my image processing team will work on your images to make it useful so that they can be used inside your book. So it will go through, our image processing team will process your image so that they are useful. We will see whether your image has the right, if you are using image from internet, we will see whether it has the proper rights and proper sources and everything mentioned. So all this is part of the program. We will assign printed ISBN and barcode number to your book and to you so that you have the 100% ownership for your book. We will do, our expert interior formatters will create, we spoke about, so we will do research with you, along with you, and we will create sample formats for you, and then my interior designing team will work on your book to finally format it as it's needed. So that is also part of the program. We will do the ebook conversion and global distribution for your book, my friend. We will help you We will convert your book in different formats so that it is acceptable, it is compatible in different devices, and it is acceptable by Amazon as well. We will do global distribution for your book in 13 different countries for your ebook and 8 countries for your paperback. This program also includes the QC check of ebook and printed book. See, for us, the most important thing that I believe in and I survive on is quality. There is a zero tolerance when it comes to quality with Global Book Publishing, because your quality, we preach about our quality. And that is why I believe that and this is the QC check that you remember I said, like, the printed book used to come to me for quality check and final approval before go for bulk printing. The same I follow here. So your books will, final book output will come to us, and me and my QC team will go through it, check for its final look, feel, and how it is. Like, it should feel professional from every angle, so that, because you will be judged through your book. And that is why we take it very seriously. And that is also included as part of the program. We will run your book through our compatibility software so that we know that your book is compatible. The output, the output of your book is compatible in different devices. So the compatibility software does is it checks the book in different devices, and that is also part of the program. Along with it, we will create a book trailer for you. Our video editing team, our editorial team will work with you on your book to create a video trailer for your book so that you can utilize it right away for the marketing of your book. We will also do, as part of the program, we will also do the social media book launch for you so that you are launched in front of hundreds of thousands of people right away, even before you do go full on public. We will help you get that initial push and that celebrity status right from the beginning, if you are selected in the program, my friends. We will also optimize your book with the book buying button. So these are all that is part of this program. So let's look at it quickly together so that you can see everything under one page, so you can take note of it. So Get Published program includes the 7-step accelerator blueprint, where I will personally help you write your winner book, professional line editing, copy editing, proofreading, developmental editing, customized high-end cover designing, printed ISBN barcode assignment, interior formatting for your ebook and for your paperback, conversion, ebook conversion, global distribution, compatibility testing, book trailer creation, social media book launch, and website optimization with a book buying button, so that your people are under your umbrella, my friends. So these all together, all these is valued at 21 grand if you do it yourself. But I am not done yet. I have some amazing free bonuses for people who are selected today. I mean, from this particular session. So let's look at all the bonuses that I have for you all today. So here it comes. Bonus number 1, as part of the bonus, you will be given access to our book to business toolkit. So this is our author accelerator program where I will be teaching you everything under the umbrella of marketing, everything when it comes to making your book successful. You remember I spoke about future of your book, like converting it into articles, blogs, and video courses. So this is where you will get access to everything. So you will be, if you are selected, you will be part of our monthly author success training, live training that we do with all our authors, and all the past recordings, which you will be able to utilize for yourself and you will be able to be successful no matter what with your book. Second, as part of the bonus, you don't even have to worry about getting your own website. Our website developers will create a website for you so that you don't have to worry about your people wandering, and you can have all your people under your umbrella. As part of the bonus, you will get access to our 8-week best-selling audiobook authority. So this one, utilizing this, many of our authors have been, not only ours, many of the authors have been able to convert their book into an audiobook on their own. You, as part of the bonus, you will also get access to our Power Up podcasting. This is also, these two are our best-selling courses. These are our 8-week best-selling courses, which you will get access to free, and you will be able to utilize it. This is a hands-on approach, and it's like, it's like hand-holding. So if you are at the one end of the bridge, I will hold your hand and I will walk with you and make you cross the bridge. So that's kind it is. As part of the bonus, I'm not done yet. I have a bumper bonus, which is if you are selected as in this program, you will get 25 printed copies of your book as a gift from us, as a bonus from us, my friends. So you can already see, right? So many things are there. Together, all this is valued at 31 grand, my friends. And if you see, these are all that it includes. Everything that is writing, editing, cover designing, ISBN, barcode assignment, compatibility testing, quality check, then book trailer creation, whatnot, and these bonuses, amazing, and the bumper bonus of 25 copies of your book. Together, all these, as I said, is priced at 19 grand 997, but today, as a special offer, hold on, you will not even pay 50%. Now, are you ready? Well, you will not even pay 25% if you are selected. So the special offer for selected people is 3997 only, my friends. And you might be wondering, Sushmita, what is the catch? Why it is so less? Well, let me put it this way. I want to create as many success stories as possible in the post-COVID era, my friends. Our authors have been successful, you saw. I want to create flood of success stories because you know what? Your success is my success as a brand. The only thing is that this particular program is not for everyone. I am looking for people who really wants to do it and really want to create change. And that is why this program is not available for direct sale. So we have one payment of 3997 or 3 payment of 1497. But what you can do is, as I said, I work with my authors one-to-one, and that is why we believe in knowing each other before getting on a journey to see whether we are a good fit or not. So as I said, you will be getting an opportunity to fill in an application form. So here it is. Go to the link called tinyurl.com/get-published-right. So what happens is when you go to this, click on this link, and I will post it in the, it is already posted in the chat section. Go ahead, click there, and you will be redirected to this page. On this page, you will be able to see different times availability. And once you click on the time that you are available, it will, few questions will pop up. You need to fill in all your details and fill in the submit your form. So once you fill in the question, your questions will actually help us to review your application, my friends. And that is why I am going to tell you, please go ahead and fill in the application so that we can review your application well. And go ahead, click on the link here. And as I said, this is all what it includes, like all the writing, editing, trailer creation, and all this is in front of you. You can take a look at it, which is basically valued at 19 grand 997. But as a very, very special offer, you will be able to get part of this program at just 3997, my friends. But I am not done yet. I am a firm believer of rewarding the fast action takers, my friends. So I haven't, because I believe in that action takers are the one who are the change makers of the world. And that is why I will take highest pride in rewarding my action takers. So here what it is. If you apply in the next 15 minutes, then as a fast action bonus, you will be given access to our Get Funding for Your book. So this is the program which our authors have used. One of our authors have used this strategy to actually raise $11,163. Another of our author was able to raise $4,221, my friend. So if here is the link, go ahead, and here is the timer. And when the timer hits 0, the fast action bonus is gone. So go ahead, click the link and fill in your application so that you don't miss out on the fast action bonus, my friends. And I know you are all from different time zones. So here in Eastern time zone, it is 9 p.m. So 9:15, this getting access to your fast action bonus ends. So go ahead, fill in your application, come talk to me, and I can see a lot of questions coming in, and I will be taking the questions anyway. But go ahead, fill in the application and come talk to me. See, my friends, it's a no-brainer. I mean, you are coming, talk to me, you are talking to me, you are not deciding whether you are going to be part of the program. We are going to talk to each other to understand whether we can get on this journey and make it successful. Go ahead and click the links and tell me if the link is working, because in the past the link was sometime not working, and I will look forward to talking to you, my friends. And it is 9:01, so we have almost 14 minutes left, and this program is now available at 3997 of one payment, and we have a payment option as well. If you need, we have a 3 payment option of 1497. So go ahead, fill in the application form, come talk to us and help us get you become successful with your book. So with that, I have all the questions with me. I can see the questions coming in. So I will take the questions one by one. You go ahead, you fill in your application, send in your questions if you have any. And then once I'm done with the questions, I will reveal your gift that I have for you. No, I did not forget. So I have a special gift, as I said, at the end of today's session. But before that, let me finish with the questions here. So what's the deadline? So my friends, the deadline to get that fast action bonus, where you will be able to raise fund for your book even before your book is published, ends in the next 13 minutes. But I understand that for some of you, probably it is not at all possible to fill in the application right now, or probably you're driving. So the deadline is today's Tuesday, Thursday, 11:59 p.m. PST, that is Pacific time. So that is the final deadline. I would say go ahead, fill in the application right away, and let's talk and let's see how the journey goes. The next question I have is, can I wait to buy? Well, listen, my friends, you can. I mean, if you want to wait, you can wait to buy. Totally, it's your decision. But let me tell you something. I cannot guarantee this insane price. Neither I can guarantee the bonuses. But let me tell you, you are not deciding whether you are going to be part of the program. You are just deciding to fill in the application and come talk to us one-to-one. So go ahead, do that, even if you feel that you are not ready. That would be my recommendation. Next question is there any other expenses? So if you are selected in the program, my friends, there is no hidden cost. You pay whatever you are seeing on the screen here. That is what you pay. There is no hidden cost, absolutely. And that is what it is about. So there is no extra expenses, nothing. Can I join even if I have 0 manuscript? Yes, of course. You saw Marilyn. She just came with an idea. She had 0 manuscript. And today she is a published author of a well-published book. You do not need manuscript. You don't need anything. You just can come with a vague idea. We know how to get you there. So that is what this program is about, my friend. What happens next? So what happens next is once you click the link here, you can go ahead and you can, once you click the link here, you can go ahead and you can fill in the application. So this is the link to fill in the application. It is already in the chat section, and somehow my watch is not showing the real time. So it is 9:05, so we have 10 minutes because I changed the slides and it went all bonkers. So yeah, to answer the question, what happens next is once you fill in the application form, and we will review it. So after reviewing your application, my team will set up a call with me and we will discuss on the call one-to-one. I will be personally answering all your questions, any questions that you might have, and you will have my undivided attention for that particular period of time as long as we are on the call. And from there on, we can decide whether it is a fruitful journey, whether we are a good fit for each other. So that is how it happens. So these are the few next steps. And if you are selected in the program, then you will be getting a final call from there on about how to get in the program and everything. So okay, the next question that I have is, what if I'm still not sure? You know what, even if you are still not sure, let me answer it in just one sentence. Go ahead, fill in the applications even if you are not sure. Come, talk to me. You are not deciding to buy it. Even I'm not sure whether you're even eligible to get in the program. You are just deciding to fill in an application which is 100% free. So go ahead, do that anyway, even if you aren't sure, okay? So with that, we are almost at the end of today's session, my friends, and I would look forward to meeting all of you during our call. And here is your free gift for tonight. This is our unique author pitch, and utilizing this, you can create your power pitch, which will help you get on your author journey right away from today. So here is the URL. It is tinyurl.com/GBP special. So go ahead, grab this, and this is your free gift for tonight. And with that, we are at the end of today's session. And thank you so much for joining in today. Go ahead, fill in the application form, and I would love to meet you and talk to you in person, and hopefully we will be able to work together and get on an amazing journey together. So with that, we are at 7 minutes past 9, and 8 minutes past 9 rather, and we still have 7 more minutes to go. So I will keep this particular session on, and for next 7 minutes, feel free to apply during that time to access that bonus, my friend. And I will look forward to meeting all of you. And here is the URL once more. And we have the link for the special bonus as well here, and on the chat section. With that, thank you so much for joining me today and spending your valuable 2 hours with me. I hope you had great learning, and I will see you during our application call. Bye, everyone. Good night.